What up, YouTube? T-Movies here with the Oscars premiering tomorrow, and with them not having another host, I decided to do 10 celebrities I'd love to see host the Oscars when they finally decide to go back to the host part. Because I always love a good Oscar host. Last year, yeah, with the no host was okay, but I still always love the traditional host with the Oscars. So, that being said, here are 10 celebrities, in my opinion, that I'd love to see host the Oscars down the line when they actually finally decide to go ahead and do the whole hosting part. So, alright, number 10, I'm going to go with Adam Sandler. Now, this will turn people's heads and all. I think Adam Sandler will be a great host. He killed it, when he hosts, SNL just this last year. I know he nailed it with that part. And he could always also poke fun at, him not getting an Oscar nomination for, Uncut Gems, and him never getting having been nominated for an Oscar and all. I think, Sandler is also, to me, he's one of the funniest guys there is. I actually quite like lots of his movies, so I think he could be a pretty good Oscar host, in my opinion. Alright, number 9, I'm going to go with a two-parter. That's Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig. After seeing them present at one of the Golden Globes a couple years back, those two, Wiig and Ferrell has great chemistry. They've also had popped up together before, and they ended up working together in Zoolander 2 and a few other stuff. And they are former SNL cast members. I think Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig, whether it's just one of them or both of them, I think they both could really do a great job at hosting the Oscars together, and I'll let you see that. Number 8, he was supposed to host the Oscars last year. I'm saying now, I really hope this guy really hosts it. And number 8 is going to be Kevin Hart. I'm sorry, I think Kevin Hart would have been a great Oscar host. But with the whole, before, of course, the stuff that he said 10 years ago, they decided to, they didn't fire him. Kevin Hart just stepped down because he didn't want to be at the center of attention and all. But I'm sorry, after seeing Kevin Hart host stuff he hosted SNL a couple of times. He did a great job with that. He was the host of the Justin Bieber roast. He was great at that. I think he hosted a couple of award shows. He did host the MTV Movie Awards with Dwayne Johnson one year. He nailed it there. This guy could be a great Oscar host, and I think given a chance, he'll nail it. He'll nail it perfectly as an Oscar host. All right. Number 7, I'm going to go with another two-parter, and that is Nick Kroll and John Mulaney. These two killed it at hosting the Independent Spirit Awards, and I really quite like Nick Kroll and John Mulaney. They are also best known for voicing characters on the show Big Mouth. They're both great on that. John Mulaney has proven he could be a good host with hosting SNL. Nick Kroll is I just adore Nick Kroll. And too bad they never really hosted SNL together either. I know it was just announced that John Mulaney is going to be returning to host SNL for the third time. I really want to see Nick Kroll and John Mulaney host SNL together. And I think they both could be a great Oscar hosts there too. And for the heck of it, it would be also funny if some of the Big Mouth characters comes on stage at the Oscars and presents some of the awards, like the Animation Award. That would be one of the funniest moments of the night. Heck, maybe the Homo Monsters could come up and present some of the awards, and that would be cool to watch. Anyway, number 6, another person who was supposed to host at one point, but I can never really remember the reason why he stepped down. I think something had to do with Brett Ratner and whatnot. But number 6, I'm going to go with Eddie Murphy. He just returned. Eddie Murphy is having a great resurgence. With his great performance in Dolomite Is My Name. He's returning for Coming to America 2. He nailed it with the recent, returning to as a host of SNL. He nailed it this season. I think Eddie Murphy will be a great, perfect Oscar host. Maybe he could bring back some of his SNL characters for a couple of stints. He could even sing too, and that's usually a given for the Oscars. So yeah, Eddie Murphy would be a perfect Oscar host right there. Number 5. Speaking of actors who could sing and dance. Number 5, I'm gonna go with Hugh Jackman. He has gotten nominated before. He got nominated for Les Miserables. He could also sing perfectly. We already saw that. He been on Broadway. He nailed it as hosting the Tony Awards a couple years back. This guy could really do a great job. He could sing a couple of great tunes here. He could do comedy pretty well. So he's a great entertainer. I think Hugh Jackman, aka Wolverine, will nail it as a hot Oscar host right there. Number 4, this is probably the only person on my list who have hosted, but I think it's a great time to get him back. Number 4 is Billy Crystal. Of course, there's been lots of Oscar hosting dramas and all, and I remember that one time when Anne Hathaway and James Franco hosted the Oscars that one night, and they kind of blew it there. They went back and had a safe host, which I think the next host they got was Steve Martin and was it Billy Crystal that they got to host the next year, or was it Steve Martin? I think it was Billy Crystal, but he hosted tons of times before, and Billy Crystal is a great entertainer. So he's hilarious. So I think Billy Crystal would be a great return to the Oscar stage. All right, number 3, I'm gonna go with Tiffany Haddish. She has a great relationship with ABC thanks to that show Kids Day is the Darndest Thing, which she's really great on. Tiffany Haddish, will probably wear that white dress, obviously. She could do comedy well. We've seen that with Girls Trip, Like a Boss. Haddish did a great job at hosting SNL a couple times. I think it was just one time, but still. I think Tiffany Haddish has what it takes to host the Oscars perfectly. And maybe bring Maya Rudolph along, because her and Maya Rudolph once presented the Oscars, and they both had great chemistry together. So whether it's with Maya Rudolph or by herself, Tiffany Haddish will be great as an Oscar host. Alright, number 2, I'm going to go with Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson would be, he hosted lots of stuff. I believe he hosted WWE Raw a couple times. He hosted the MTV Movie Awards before. Dwayne Johnson could also sing. We've seen that with Moana. He could actually dance too. He could do comedy. He has great charisma. Dwayne Johnson, no one has ever said anything bad about Dwayne Johnson, And I don't think people, if Dwayne Johnson gets to hosting the gig, I don't think there will be people digging into his past to see if he has, said anything. Because I have a hard time imagining Dwayne Johnson ever said anything wrong. So, yeah, to me, Dwayne Johnson will be a really cool Oscar host. My number 1 pick for the Oscar host, it is Tom Hanks. You can never say anything bad about Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks, he's a two-time, he's a two-time Oscar winner. He's also been nominated for Castaway, most recent Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Tom Hanks could sing too, so maybe he could have some music talent. He hosted SNL perfectly, so there's that. And Tom Hanks, I have a hard time imagining Hanks ever said anything in the past that people will.
Remember the gifts at the place?
Yeah, I have a hard time imagining people Tom Hanks had ever said anything in the past that will have people dig up to his past to find out if he said anything and destroy his career. No way. No one would never do that to Mr. Hanks. And maybe he'll even come out as Mr. Rogers. That will also be cool too. But yeah, Tom Hanks hosting the Oscars, to me, he is the number 1 pick. He'll nail it every inch. He'll do a great job as a Oscar host. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10, Adam Sandler. 9, Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig. 8, Kevin Hart. 7, Nick Kroll and John Mulaney. 6, Eddie Murphy. 5, Hugh Jackman. 4, Billy Crystal. 3, Tiffany Haddish. 2, Dwayne Johnson. And 1, Tom Hanks. Now, there's a few other ones I probably could have added. Maybe you get Steve Martin and Alec Baldwin coming to host. Maybe Alec Baldwin could host as Trump. That would be cool. Maybe you get Ryan Reynolds to host. He's a great choice. What about the Muppets? Come on. I mean, you could get the Muppets to host. That would be the highlight of the show. Maybe you get Melissa McCartney to host. That's a good choice. Maybe just get Jimmy Kimmel back. That's not a bad choice. Maybe Jimmy Fallon. Lots of really good ones. Let me lead you guys. Who would you love to see host the Oscars in the near future? Yeah. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is Team Movie signing off.